Hey guys, my channel is a creative and a financial channel, so we talk about both really. And today I just wanted to talk about something that happened to me recently, which I think is just very interesting. And as an expat, when you move here and you're not from the US, you don't understand the healthcare system, which I still don't understand any of it. So obviously you have to have a healthcare, right? I'm fully employed, for instance. I have a healthcare with my employer. If you are on a freelance basis, you have to pay for your own healthcare. Highly recommend, no matter what, having a healthcare. I think it's just necessary. But what happened to me recently is it was actually last week. We renewed the healthcare with my employer, like we do every year. I kept the exact same healthcare that I had last year. So it's the same healthcare. I go for the lower tier option usually, and the reason for that is because I want to have an HSA, and the reason why I want to have an HSA is because I want to have the triple tax advantage that comes with an HSA. So then I contribute every month, and there's a piece of it that I keep as contribution, and then I can pay for my medical bills through the year, and then there is a part of it that I keep, and then I just invest in the stock market. It is a mindful decision. Like, I do that on purpose, so I know it comes with pros and cons of doing that. But what I just thought was very interesting is that the same healthcare, I have a prescription, I take the birth control pill, and last year, that exact same healthcare had it for free. So it was in the tier for free, so I was paying $0. And this year, as they were prescribing the whole thing, I got a text message from CVS saying, well, now we're doing the prescription for you, but it's going to cost you $192 for 3 months of supply. And so I was kind of like, I don't think so. Like, I'm not going to pay $192. So I was like, okay. So the healthcare probably has changed their tier, and that was in the lower tiers before, and now it's not anymore. So if I had a premium, I probably would not be paying this. It would probably be part of the premium, but it's not. And also putting out there that it is not the brand drug that I'm taking, it was already a generic. So you have a few options when that happens. You can call your healthcare, the healthcare provider, and ask them, like, is there another generic drug that is the exact same thing but is covered within like the lower tier. So you can do that. Honestly, last week was crazy. I didn't have time to do this. Plus, I've been taking that specific generic for a long time now. And even though they say it doesn't really change anything, it should make no difference to your body, it's still we're playing with hormones here. I kind of just want to stay on the same drug, same generic, even though it's the exact same molecules inside and it should make no difference. I would rather not have to change it. Long story short, what I didn't know for a very long time when these things happen, and it's not the first time that it happens, is you can go cash price, right? Like, you don't have to use your healthcare to pay for your some of your prescription if you think that it's just the price is just mental. And that was one of those cases where I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. So what I did is I went on to GoodRx, and it's an application and a website. You can find it online, and they have like coupons for prescription drugs. And I could find this specific prescription for $34 on GoodRx. So I got the coupon, I put it on my phone, and everything was fine. Cool. I go to CVS, the guy find my prescription, and then he looks at me like, so I'm like, yeah, I know it's $192. I'm not gonna pay that, like, fuck that. And then basically what I did is took my phone and show him, like, I found a coupon with GoodRx. I would rather be paying that amount and not use my healthcare. So he was like, okay, come over. And then he looked in his system and he found a slightly better coupon for $33. Okay, and mine was 34. So it was literally a $1 difference. So whatever. But then I was reading about that, and basically what it is some pharmacies have deals with these suppliers, like these drug suppliers, and they just negotiate prices, and then they get better prices and all that stuff. So I went with that. Cool, $33. It's $11, like the month supply. Totally cool, fine. And then I pay myself back with my HSA for $33, which in itself is nothing. But, I guess the thing that I just wanted to put out there for people that, just moved to the US and they don't know that, or, you've been here for a while, but you just never care to look for that information, or you just never came your way for whatever reason. And, like there may be many, many reasons why you wouldn't necessarily know, but you do not have to use your healthcare. For prescription drugs and stuff like that. I mean, I think even for if you go for visits, you don't have to pay you don't have to pay with your healthcare if the price of the visit is actually cheaper without it. Now, I think in some cases you might want to use your healthcare no matter what, but and especially for like, I don't know, you get into an accident or whatever, like then it's insane crazy. Like you should probably be paying with your healthcare. It's like a case per case kind of situation, but just so you know, when you have stuff like that, you do not have to pay with your healthcare if paying with your healthcare doesn't make sense. And the only downside to that, which, okay, that's fine, like to me, it's not such a huge deal, is that it will not be part of your deductible. So, whatever deductible you have, 1,000, 3,000, 6,000, I don't know, it depends the actual plan that you have. So check in your plan, like that will be written. You have that amount of deductible to pay before you can actually hit and having your healthcare starting to pay for your expenses. But no matter what that is, if you pay cash, it's not going under your deductible, so it will not be deducted from your deductibles, which is hard to say actually. And just another anecdote that I'll just throw out there quickly as well. Like, same thing happened to me way back when I moved to the US. I had no idea how anything worked. And I had to go to the ER because I had pain in the lower abdomen. And I thought maybe it was my appendicitis or something. I didn't know, but it felt really bad. So I went to the ER and they did a whole bunch of like, tests on me. And I received the bill a few months or a few weeks later. I received the bill and it was $850, which in itself wasn't even that bad. I was expecting something way more. But, I was like, oh, that's fine. It's $850, but I haven't given them my healthcare information. So once I give them that, surely it will be cheaper. I give them my healthcare information, details, and everything. And then a couple of weeks later, I receive a new bill that was $1,250. So it was actually more expensive with the healthcare. And I think that was the first time I was actually faced with that situation. And my jaw just like dropped on the table. I was just like, wait, hold on, what? What is going on here? I am not understanding this. Something you pay for every month, which you already pay quite a big deal of money every month, ends up being more expensive than if I didn't have a healthcare. Like, can someone explain this to me? But at the time, I didn't know that you could still pay without your healthcare. And in my mind, I'm like, can you like, don't you get penalized to do something like this? And you know what? In some cases, you may be getting penalized. I don't know, and I would highly recommend you do your own research just to be sure. But I know for prescription drugs, I don't think there is any sort of, I think you'd be fine. So again, it's a case per case situation. And make sure that whatever way you decide to go, make sure it makes sense for you. Like, I'm not a healthcare specialist and I am not also a financial specialist. I'm just saying from finances and like common sense, I'd rather pay $33 and than $192. That's just common sense. That's it. But yeah, double check everything, make sure it makes sense for you. Then after that, I didn't know for quite some time that you could actually pay without your healthcare. And so pay at cash price and, get like pharmacist prices, because I think there are like deals between the pharmacist and the drug supplier. I just didn't know that you could do that. And I'm pretty sure I probably lost a bunch of money on some of the prescription that I got in the past on stuff that I could have had for way cheaper. So again, just putting it out there, if you are from the US, you probably know all of that already, and this is not news to you. You're just like, all right, this chick is lending, and we already all knew that. So thank you for that useless piece of information. But if you are like me and you're not from this country originally, and you arrive here and you have no idea, I'm putting it out just in case you come across this video and you can learn something new. That's something that you can do. You do not have to use your healthcare. So always ask at the counter when you go to your pharmacy. Ask for the cash price. Also, I believe in certain states, if you don't specifically ask for the cash price, they won't give it to you. They won't tell you that it's an option for you. So that's also why I'm putting it out there, because if you don't actually ask yourself, they might not tell you that you can actually, that's an option for you. So always ask, no matter what, and then you can make your decision. You have all the information at hand and you can make the best decision for yourself. But you do not have to use your healthcare. Yes, it won't go against your deductible. I don't think it's such a huge deal, you know. And if it is for you, it is a huge deal, then use your healthcare. But in my case, it doesn't make any sense. So, that's fine. So that's it. I just wanted to talk about this because I just find that, I'm coming from France, obviously. You might be able to tell from my accent. And, my brain doesn't compute that information because the way things work there is not the same. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I know it's not creative. It's more on the financial side of things, but it's also a little bit of the healthcare messiness, blurriness, like what is going on. But yeah, I just wanted to put it out because I feel like it's an important piece of information and some people just might not know because I didn't know for quite some time. So, and I wish someone would have told me earlier. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you at the end of the month for my end of the month recap. And yeah, in the meantime, have a good rest of your week and I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.